Right, going live on YouTube now. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Right, I'm pretty sure I'm live on YouTube now. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I can see the mic moving up and down. I'm aware you've got my camera right in my face, thank you. Just knocking everything now. Right, I haven't even got my pencils sorted out, so that's really annoying. Hi Gary. Because of that, I will probably end up messing up the colours that are in the tutorial, so that's really handy. Thank you, Stacey. Because apparently I'm good at doing stuff like that. Go figure. Grabbing my pencils out, including my ivory. Ivory, Gary, ivory. Hi Joe, you're right. I'm just grabbing anything I think I used in the previous tutorials because I legit can't remember. I don't think we used magenta. Captain Morton Violet we did. Hey Mitchell, I certainly did. I'm pretty sure we had Pink Madder Lake as well. So forgive me if the pencil's going to be slightly out of whack. It's just that when I'm working on more than one portrait, I find it really hard to keep on top of keeping the pencils separate, which is why I very rarely work on more than one portrait at a time. You're just pushing my skills. Right, coffee in hand, brush. Coffee nearby, pencils are out. Can't remember, I think we were working on the chest, weren't we? So gonna need all the greys basically, so let's get them out ready. So you're gonna want your warm greys, your cold greys. What's a safe strap? What's that? I've only got a poppet one, which is quite cool. Hi Evie. Okay, so you're also going to need your Payne's Grey and you're going to need your dark sepia, and you are going to need your dark indigo. The Queen of Speech today. Hi, it's Jamie. So yeah, we're going to be working on the bit underneath his neck, which is primarily made up of greys. And I know a few people have mentioned that they have found this area particularly tricky beforehand. So I've actually had people apologise to me before for asking me to draw white or black animals, because you know they literally think it's just done with a black pencil, but that's not the case. There's tons and tons of colours in white and black animals. Hi, Happily Rack. So I can have it connected to my wrist. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Ah, sounds nice. So, what's the time now? 6 minutes past. We'll wait till 10 minutes past until a few more people are here for the tutorial to start. If you're watching this on TikTok and you want to join in and learn how to draw this, if you head over to my YouTube channel, the link is in my bio. There is also a link in the bio for all the tools, references, line work, everything you need to be able to draw along with us. Oh, hi Will. Different name now, huh? So is anybody who was here previously? Apologies. God's sake. Hi Stephen. Has anybody got any questions from previous weeks before we make a start on anything? I need to move that camera a little bit. No, made no difference. There we go. Trying to be productive, but I run out of printer paper, so I can't print anything off, which is really handy. I'm not too bad, Evie. How are you? So how are you, Will? It's weird having a two-way conversation. I think you're close enough on TikTok. You close enough on YouTube? It's quite yellow through the camera today for some reason. Let's alter the LED, I think. There, that's a bit better. Still got a bit of loss of colour, but good. How's the kitty? Still causing havoc? Right, should we crack on then if no one's got any questions? Oh, bless you. Thank you, Charlotte. What, in your opinion, gives you the best black? Okay, in my opinion, the thing that gives you the best black is layering your Payne's Grey and your dark indigo for a cool black, and for a warm black, dark indigo with Payne's Grey with dark sepia. Or if you really want to get it black, then actually you can use all three, which is what I've done on his stripes. But yeah, I find the combo of those work really, really well. Oh, bless. Oh, I hope it feels better soon. This is the scary part, chest fur. What worries you the most about it, Gary? Let's have a convo about this, because you might not be the only one. We're probably going to get half the chest done today, because obviously I'll be going through questions and bits and bobs with everybody. So don't expect it to be finished today. And the next live I'll be doing on TikTok will be the eye that I'll be doing. Right, I need the reference picture up. Actually, that would be quite helpful, wouldn't it? There's no point in me using the tiny little one on the screen. That's not the reference. It's soft looking. Oh, okay. That's easily achievable. Yeah, it's soft looking because it's got depth of field. So the focus is on the muzzle. And if you actually look really carefully, his ears are slightly blurry. So the focus is very much the front of the face, which is what you want anyway. But it means that you have to practice pretty much how to do depth of field in pencil, which is what it's going to do. So... yeah, should we crack on then? Hi, Leslie. Sorry again, I'm writing it down. Okay, so if you want a cold black, you want to use Payne's Grey and dark indigo. If you want a warm black, you want to use Payne's Grey and dark sepia. And if you want something really solid, you can honestly mix both the three. That's good English. The three together, and it actually works really, really well. So as you'll see here, it's quite a nice solid soft black, and that tends to give you much more depth than using black on its own. Right, so as with before, actually they look quite brown under his chest, so I would say go for your dark sepia first and very gently just block in where his dark patches are on his chest. So we've got one there, we've got one here. You'll obviously reduce your lines here. I'm not going to worry too much tonight as it's just more to show you. But on yours you need to eliminate some of your sketch lines. So right underneath his chin. and that won't look quite so straight across when we come back and we scrape some of that away. But hopefully you've indented some of yours too. So in here we've got quite a solid bit where the first splits, and then there's a little bit next to it. There is actually, there's a video in my YouTube channel about how to achieve the blacks and how to layer them if you want to see sort of a visual representation of them. I don't know if that's helpful, but I've put it on silent, yeah. So we've got a bit under here. We've got a little bit under here. Don't worry about getting the perfect shape, to be honest. And then we got it quite fluffy in this section. This is where when you get your line work down, it's really not worth you stressing over the stupidly fine details, because you could easily get yourself lost by marking every single area that's dark and light on the chest fur. It's absolutely no point. Just get down figuratively where the darkest sections are, because in reality it doesn't really matter what the rest of it looks like. As long as the fur is going in the right direction and you have your contrast there, it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So we've got the big one that comes across on here. Get those in. So we're roughly blocking in exactly where everything is. And then personally, what I would do is, I would say there's probably more cold greys in there than there are actually warm. I would say the more warmth is in the dark patches. So go straight for cold grey 3. Yeah, cold grey 3, and I am going to eliminate some of that. It's a bit dark over this side. And we're just going to shade over the whole lot just to get a layer down, or if you want to work to half, it might be a bit easier. We'll work to half instead of overwhelming a little bit. Work in ovals, keep everything clean, keep it all nice and tight and together, and work lightly. Erica's not here yet, is she? Is somebody able to do me a favour on YouTube and just share it into the group for me, please? Because I don't think Erica's here yet. Hi Paul, I'm not too bad today. How are you? Right, we're going to go up to there just so we're not doing too much in one go. And please trust me with this process. It's how I work. I'm not saying it's how you have to work, but personally I find it easier. But we're going to be quite speedy through the process. So I think we're going to bite the bullet and go straight into the Payne's Grey. And all you're going to do first of all is we're going to go over that dark section again and just pull out some of the hairs. Just really observe the fur direction. So it's pretty much sweeping from 12 o'clock across to sort of 8 o'clock, I would say. And just go in and pop a few dark areas in. Doesn't need too many around that area. And we'll come across to this one, add some fur strokes coming out. Fill the inner space. And he's a little bit fluffier this side, so you don't have to do long fur strokes. You can just go in and do like I don't even know what you'd call it actually. It's like a scribble effect. Hang on, there it is. Don't know whether how clearly you'll be able to see this, but I'll try and do it big, so it's like doing this. That's the only thing I can, I don't even know. It is like a scribble effect, and scribble effect actually is a legit form of shading, so you can do dog's noses like that. So I'll do that a little bit here because it's fluffy, but it's not you haven't got like clear defined lines, if that makes any sense. If I waffle tonight, just ignore me. We can just darken it in there again. And under here. So at this stage I would reduce down to a cold grey 2. I think that's my 2, yes. Sharpness sounding a bit strained. Okay, and then we're just going to go over what we've done and just blend into the dark section. Don't worry about it looking muddy, as we've had this conversation before. But go in like a backwards and forwards motion. So I'll do it in the paint grey so you can see. So normally I would say work in ovals to keep it nice and clean. But right now, rather than have these nice clean fur stripes, which we don't want, we want something a bit more in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to work like this. And we're just going to go backwards and forwards. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, we're just going to do that over the areas we've done so far. And a few coming out on the edge here. Not many though, because he's not mega furry. Just enough to indicate. And again, we're going to do that motion. It just gives us a sense of direction without actually having to do too much. Okay, grab your dark sepia, wherever mine's gone. And then we're just going to darken in underneath his chin and underneath the neck section. But again, just do the central piece, don't come too far out into where the fur starts to blend out. can go back to our cold grey 3. If you just look at where the darkest sections are, I would start putting little independent bits of shadowing detail in there. I'm going to grab my Payne's Grey and just darken a couple. Warm grey 3, and underneath here I'm just going to pull up into his chin area with tiny little pencil strokes, so it gives the illusion of the fur coming from his chin. Sharpener, lost my sharpener. Oh dear, that's not good. Quite strong. Did you stir it?
I think so.
I didn't just use my tool there. I can't find my sharpener. Help, send help. Don't know if it'll work from this one. Nope. Oh, just about. Doesn't fit in my electric one, which is really annoying. Your tutorial is excellent and off the charts in detail. Oh, bless you. What's up? I didn't hear you, sorry. And he's not listening to me now either.
Huh?
God, jeez. Okay. Right, blend over with your buff titanium the little pencil strokes that you've done. Again, in sort of like that C motion, I guess. You can go over the other grey area too. Just go over the whole lot really. And it will soften everything, it will lighten everything. And then it gives us a nice layer to then, with your Payne's Grey, don't go too heavy. So keep the pressure quite light. Yep. Just going to answer a question on YouTube, so bear with me. A little while to come through, so yeah, bear with. It's okay. Oh, you little meanie, cheeky. Right, very lightly with your Payne's Grey. Now you can start putting in some of the little details, because where you've laid up and you've gone over with your luminance, it will give you, as I showed you before, a much cleaner pencil line. So just put a few in, and it will start to soften all the space that's there. I have to say, I still, even after years of doing tutorials, find it really hard to talk and tutorial at the same time and draw at the same time. And if you want, you can just go over again with your buff titanium just to soften those out as well, depending on how out of focus you want it to feel. I'm going to glaze over the top of mine because I feel this area here could do with darkening. So I'm going to glaze over with Cold Grey 3. I'm just going to darken my little shadow there. Okay, we're just going to work our way along. As we come further to the middle, because the middle is further forward, it's slightly more in focus. It really does actually seem quite strange, Leslie. You are correct, and I enjoy working with outrageous colours so much more. Okay, so again, I'm just going to do little sweepy motions, just because I find it gives me much more of a messier feel on his chest. I mean, up in here, it's quite messy anyway, and it's all in different directions. So there's like a little square section there. There's another little section. There's one there. There's forms into a triangle at the bottom. This one comes right down. So it's really just observing the shapes that your shadows are forming. Ignore what you're actually drawing. Just copy the shapes. Chunk in there. And not everything has to make sense. So I'm going to keep going with the C shape. Once you do this section here, then this tends to make more sense. Like I've said in previous tutorials, you really have to sometimes work your way through more than one section for it to really make sense. Keep looking up thinking I've got dirt all over my paper. It's not, it's my kids' scrubby fingers. It did look like a stick man, didn't it? I have to agree with that. I can't drink that. It's a touch too strong. It's either that or the sweetener broke. Right, just go up again into the chin. We'll bring some more out once we've got a bit more detail. And honestly, I actually go in with your Payne's Grey now. And just go in and make some messy, blocky shadows. He's not going to be neat and tidy. Hi, Erica. Okay, what we want to do is we want to build up the shadow that comes from the deepest section. So you want to pull out a little bit of detail up into the lighter fur, but don't come out too far. And that just helps it sort of form the idea that it's coming forward. Feather it in the other direction. Get some detail in here. while using the Payne's grey. Join that up a little bit. So a bit of shadow coming down from that dark section. Then pop in some fur. I'm actually going to grab my white, not my buff titanium. And what I'm going to do is circular motions. I'm going to blend over what I've done in this chest section. So you're effectively making it all blurry. I can't believe how dark it looks on my phone. I haven't got any filters on, have I? No, weird. Actually looks so much darker through the phone than it is for a change. I'm just going to darken this little section in here. Put a few details in. Just keep filling in a few little fur details. I haven't blended with the buff titanium yet. Pretty simple shading wise with regards to differences in light and dark on his actual fur. He seems to be quite monotone. Oh, if anybody has Etsy and likes to favourite shops, you don't have to buy. I'm not asking you to buy whatsoever, but I'd love it if I could get a few more favourites on my new shop, just so it doesn't look quite so Billy No Mates. So if you are on Etsy, the new shop is called Bonnita Doodles Studio. You'll have to look under shops. It can be a bit of a pain in the bum. I need to put a link actually in my bio to it, but it looks very lonely. I've just cancelled people trying to come onto the live feed, so that shouldn't happen anymore. You can just extend some of those shadows if you want, just make them slightly larger. It's for digital downloads and sublimation. So I'm finally offering some of my artwork up for people to use on products. But I'm also doing digital downloads like sobriety trackers, weight trackers. There'll be journal stuff going up. That's why I was asking you loads of questions the other day about homework. Because that's probably one I'll make up too. Okay. Right, we can move over to this bit. We've got a bit of fluff that sort of comes out in this direction. I'm just going to put that in. Blend over with white actually. Bless you, thank you. Right, this middle section of mine is slightly too dark, so I'm going to lighten mine. I can buy my last tool. I'm just going to brighten it up a little bit in there. A bit better. Hi Cheryl. Okay, so you need to follow on this section when we come to it the direction, because essentially you can't really tell exactly what direction, but this comes out this way and this almost pulls along with it. Then he's got like a tuft of fur here, and then he's got like a dark section that comes down there. He's got one there. So let's just get that dark section. I've still got Payne's grey in my hand. So, and the tufts sort of end roughly here. I'm just gonna mark where the tufts end. And they almost actually come right up into that section. So if you lightly indicate as you go, then you're not going to lose the direction. Hopefully you can see what I mean when you're looking at your reference photo. Just going to make the chin hairs underneath. A bit more prominent. Very tufty and soft underneath. Just going to darken my one a tiny bit there. Right, this bit is lighter than this bit, so instead of using cold grey 3, we're going to be mainly using cold grey 2 and 1. So I would base most of this side with cold grey 1 because we don't want it to be as dark. I'm just going to fill that whole area. Again, you'll notice I'm really not bothered about going into dark sections. And it does actually come over into this little bit here. Not all the way, but probably, what, ½ centimetre? Okay, now with our I think we could actually get away with doing the shadows in the cold grey 3, but we'll just keep the base cold grey 1. Anything that's really light, just don't work into that because we'll blend that out with buff titanium. Hi Aardvarks, thank you. How are you? just work in the direction of the fur, leaving some nice clean space at the top. And we'll go with the C's. I don't understand why people want to take screenshots anyway. What are they going to do with them? Sorry, there was a bit of a to-do on TikTok. And thank you very much, Board, for sorting it out. Okay, it's like, I wish I could just like work without talking, but have a monitor attached to my brain, so you could literally just hear what goes through my brain every time I pick up the pencil. I'm sure it would actually go a lot smoother, because trying to go from here to here, or here to here to here, it's just like, ah. Oh, I forgot you changed it. Sorry. You might have seen Erica on Rob's feed, Rob's live. I'm just going to work the direction on that tuft and this tuft. Yeah, as of this side, it starts to go in this direction. It starts to go from sort of 11 over to 3 o'clock. So it changes on the right hand side, so bear that in mind. And these go up and down. That direction. So you need to just shade a little bit where it meets the fur, but it gets lighter as it comes out to the top, if that makes sense. My brain would be, honestly, you wouldn't get an ounce of peace. It's always on the go. Right, I'm going to blend over what I've done with the buff titanium. Don't go too heavy. You can blend without having to be really forceful. We're going to come in with our Payne's Grey. I'm going to darken the patches underneath. Dark sepia. Payne's grey just on that middle section. And we'll work in some of that fur. Slice tool. Just going to put out some really fine little hairs.
I'm just thinking maybe down.
Sorry?
As well as the other days.
Okay, now you can start refining some of the shadows and the details in the fur with your Payne's grey. Keep trying to enlarge the reference. Not the paper reference, surely. The reference on the screen, I assume you mean. It really is just a case of refining and getting in these details. Got like a triangle shadow that comes down here. I'm going to grab my warm grey 3. No, cold grey 3. There's the reference on the screen. You daisy. I'm just going to shade underneath here where it needs to be a tiny touch darker. Payne's grey. Grey 3. Payne's grey. Right, I need to zoom out very quickly on YouTube. This shape needs bringing up. that was noisy. Sorry, sometimes it's just easier to see a bit further away. I find actually working up close, because I tend to look through the camera as I work, it's not always a good thing. You can't always see the definitive shapes very easily. I think sometimes zooming in can do you more harm than good sometimes. Just going to add more of the fur. How you getting on, Gary? There might be a bit of a camera delay. I don't know if you're finding that on YouTube. Yeah, it really helps actually. Again, because you're looking at the photo effectively from a distance. You're not looking at a photo as close as you would be looking while you're drawing. So I guess it's that whole, you're looking at it from a field. A field? God. Oh dear. Send help. Guess who put her orders in for key rings? And pin badges are coming. I don't, but yes, it is actually a really good way of, if you're struggling more with, well, actually with anything, but I know a few people do it with people portraits. But actually, yeah, it's a really good way of it. So, and the original reason being is, if you look at camera obscurers, it used to flip the image upside down. So actually, when people started painting with pinholes and things like that, the image was always upside down. I think that's where it came from. Yeah, I've just got to order the packing boxes, the cards that they're going on. And fingers crossed, some quite exciting chains. They're not just going to be normal metal chains. Okay, let's zoom back in. I'm pretty sure that's working quite well actually. So we'll start changing direction. And then we're going to go over, or I'm going to go over. You don't have to do what I do exactly, because you will end up finding certain things that you do that you might prefer. That's, you know, really what makes us artists so unique. Okay, so buff titanium. Just to blend over. Again, don't go in too hard with the pressure. Thank you, Martina. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way the eyes came out. I'll come over this way a little bit and soften it all up again still. So it still looks like fur, but it's really quite nice and soft. Hi, Alyssa. Thank you. Just put a few more. It's fairly even, to be honest, with the shading. It's just that adding a few more afterwards just gives you a little bit more dimension. Let's Payne's grey. Just going to very roughly darken that up slightly. Dark sepia. Just going to go from the edge because it's got a slightly orange. And the dark sepia will do that for you. Warm grey will actually do that as well if you want to. But as we transition into dark sepia into that area anyway, it's just one less pencil you have to use. We've been doing this as a tutorial, so it's been over the course of 5 live, or this is the 5th live feed. I might even actually bring in a touch of the old burnt ochre just to, yeah, just to make it a little bit more on the orange side, and a little bit this side as well because we need to finish this side. I'm trying not to untape the drawing, so it's a bit awkward for my hand, but fill the space in here. Dark sepia. He's got a few, or a little bit of a dark line just on the very edge of the reference. Yeah, Payne's grey. Wow. Need to darken that little spot there too. Yeah, they're going to be slightly bigger key rings as well, which is even better. Not by much. But there's still going to be inverted text on the back, which I've said is absolutely fine. Okay, so it's a bit lighter this side, so I might... Hey Rob, I'm going to use my cold grey 2. We'll just get the third direction in with the cold grey 2. well, while we got it in our hand, do the bit outside here too. Like so. Okay, so down in this little section here, it's quite clustered and dark. So we can come out a little bit from that patch. Darken the centre of the stripe. I think I might have actually drawn this one a little bit too big. Bring the fur out. Nearly dropped it in the wrong direction. I just snapped the end of my pencil off. It's half a paint grey got missing now. Right, again, when I've got it in my hands, I might as well just get some detail in this little section on the edge, and then I can blend over it with the buff titanium. Buff, just gets it all blended, softens it all. Dark sepia. It sounds like it's raining really bad. It's not. It's just John's computer taking off. Dark indigo. Dark indigo. Payne's grey. I'm so sorry. I swear my brain gets worse the more of these I do. Okay, now we can just start refining with the Payne's grey some little patches of shadow. Again, you really don't have to be 100% accurate to the reference, it's just giving that indicator. I don't think I actually blended that out, did I? Are you getting the softness that you were hoping to achieve, Gary? Dark sepia. Oh dear. Take my Crocs off, get my feet comfy. I'm trying, Will. I'm trying. did my best. I'm loving what the buff does. Yeah, it really makes a difference, doesn't it? I think this is where a lot of people are scared of it going muddy, but actually, if you look at where it is, it's not muddy, but it's cloudy. That's the other way of putting it, I suppose. Because it isn't really clean and refined. There you go. See, now we've done the whole section. It makes so much more sense when you look at it as a whole. Look at the difference just from doing this section compared to what it looked like a minute ago. So I'm going to show you guys on TikTok as well, a bit more zoomed out because you've been looking at it close up. So just from doing this little bit here, which can look quite messy, and then you come around and it starts getting lighter, it really does make a huge difference to how the portrait looks in the end. This is why you really have to trust the process and just go with it, because sometimes things don't make sense until you start working on the area next to it or around it. So yeah, you really do have to just trust the process. So I'm going to give mine another little very gentle blend over with the buff titanium. Come on. Run out of drink now. Right. Let's do this stripe that goes across his chest. Is that CLM? He's doing a tiger at the moment, isn't he? Oh, hang on. I can't get my camera to... Okay. Right, so we're going to work on this, and it is actually quite brown, so we're going to concentrate on... Like this area here, we don't want to be going in with the dark sepia straight away. So I would grab your warm grey 3 or 4. In fact, I think we could add a little bit of cinnamon on the bottom there. Let's put a bit of cinnamon. Let's go with a bit of cinnamon. Like so. And then we're going to go in with the warm grey, just around that section. And on the bottom where I know it's going to come out into the lighter fur. And then I'm going to come in with the dark sepia. So we're just going to do where the darkest area is with dark sepia. I'm able to pull back some of the whites with the luminance. Yes. What grey what? What grey what? Hang on a minute. Where do you need to catch up to? Right, first of all cinnamon, then warm grey 3 or warm grey 4. 3 should be enough really. So just put a little bit of cinnamon down and then a little bit of warm grey. Oh, warm grey 3 or 4. as I say, three should be enough. And then grab your dark sepia. And then we're just going to put the dark sepia where the darkest sections on the reference are. Okay, Mike. Can you believe I finally sold a monster bookmark? It's been in my shop nearly a year, I think. I finally sold one, yay! They're so freaking cute. I was surprised they didn't sell more, actually. I thought they would go quite well, but... Polychromos. Pretty much the whole of this is done in polychromos, apart from the luminance. Just a very light shading over with the dark sepia. And then we can really start to come over, fill that whole area out. Honestly, they're so cute. I'm absolutely amazed that they haven't sold more than that. But hey ho. And the headache I had. Oh, trying to get the holographic film onto the unicorn picture today. It was a goddamn nightmare. I dread to think how much money I've wasted in product. I wish I could do it from mind, berries, but no. Good places to go are Pexels, PEXELS.com, Pixabay, which is PIXABAY.com, or Unsplash.com. They're really, really good places to go for references. My favourite generally is Pexels. We can just put that colour up a bit. Dark sepia. No, stop it, woman. Payne's grey. And we're just going to put that on where it's the darkest. That was all sepia, yeah. All the way along was sepia. If you want me to hold fire, Gary, just literally tell me how many, if you need a minute. Just, yeah. Let me know. So dark sepia for all the way along on this section here. And on the very, very darkest sections, which there's a couple as you go through, we're going to put some Payne's grey down. And you can start adding a bit of the fur detail where it goes up into the lighter fur. Sorry, it's not helping. I can't even get my words out properly today. You should be lucky we're not using ivory at the moment. We'd be in a pickle then, wouldn't we? Okay. I'll grab my slice tool and do some fine, just coming over into that section. Dark sepia. Payne's grey. Dark sepia. Source pictures. Right, let me type it up for you, Will. There are other places you can get them, like paid websites as well. There's normally places on Facebook as well that offer them up, but I was so fed up with the drama of those groups that I just didn't bother using them, to be honest. Right, I'm going to bring out the Payne's Grey again for just the, might even need to bring out dark indigo on this one. Let me try it and then I shall let you know. Yeah, you can put a little bit of dark indigo in if you want. Might be worth you popping a link up in the group, Leslie. Right, because there's quite a bit of fur that comes over as we near the middle, I'm just going to use my slice tool and bring some of that out. And then I'm just going to go up in between some of those marks I've made, just to make them a bit stronger. As we come to this middle section, there's not actually a lot of brown showing, which is why I've brought the white fur all the way down. So all we're going to do is, as we work along, we're just going to do a little bit of brown coming up into that fur, so the dark sepia still. There's a little chunk you can see just here. Oh my god, Leslie, isn't it just? I'm like, there's so many of my own pictures I can use, but I never feel that they're good enough, which is ridiculous. Plus, I don't really get much of a chance, not that you can now anyway, but before that I didn't really have much of a chance to just go somewhere on my own and take photographs. So all the ones I'd taken are like really rushed, not particularly great. Okay, we're pretty much solid as we come to here, so all the area, I don't think you're going to need to use anything other than dark sepia and Payne's grey. So I'm just going to pop some detail up into the white fur before we fill in the space. By the way, clothes washing is, yes, it is a never-ending story. Even worse when you've got 2 guinea pigs, so you literally have to change it every 2 days. You found stickers cuter than mine? How dare you? I'm only kidding. Oh, P.S. My pictures are now with the Diamond Painting Company, so hopefully they will be released soon. Can you see? Have I come off the screen? I haven't, have I? No. I know I'm getting a bit close on Tickety Talk, but... Okay, I'm just going to put a layer of Payne's grey. And then I think try and use your dark sepia at the bottom where it starts to go into what will be the light fur section. Hi Berries. No, everything is saved on YouTube, my lovely. All you got to do is go to my YouTube channel, go to the lives section, and you'll find the last 5 weeks worth of tutorials all sitting there waiting for you. I always keep my lives uploaded onto my YouTube channel. Right, I'm just going to use the slice tool just to clean some of that up a little bit. And then again with the Payne's grey, I'm just going to go up in between just to darken some of the sections. Now, because these aren't solid like they currently are, what we need to do is I would go for the warm cold grey 2, because as we blend this in, you're going to pick up some of the dark sepia and the Payne's grey, so that's naturally going to darken it anyway. And all we're going to do is blend across the 2 sections just to soften the whole thing out. And what it will do is just darken it slightly. If you feel it's not dark enough, then go over with the cold grey 3. But it should be enough just to soften that all out. Yeah, you can go back to any of the live feeds for the last 5 weeks. It's all there. So you just go to my YouTube channel, go onto live feeds, and all the videos are there. So you can watch them in any order you want. So we're talking over a year's worth of live feeds. I might do a little bit on mine with the cold grey 3. Just to add a little bit more shadowing. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so that softens that all up, and then we can do something similar this side. But what I suggest that we do is actually use the buff titanium or the white. I personally am going to use the white. And what I'm going to do is work from my light area and push into the dark area. And I can just blend where I need to clean up. So we should be looking roughly like that at the minute. So I'm going to zoom right out on YouTube so you can get an idea. That's looking really good. I'm really happy with that. The only thing is probably need a little bit more dark patching in here. Like so. Be a bit deeper than it should be, but that's not a problem.
Want coffee?
No, would you mind if I have a cold drink, please?
A cold drink?
Yeah, is that alright?
Yeah.
Thanks. I very much appreciate it.
See what's happening. Cold drink.
I'm surprised you went on Warcraft today.
Oh no, I was doing updates and all sorts.
Weekend soon. Yeah. Okay, I'm wondering whether got half an hour. I've got my bottle here, babe. I'm wondering whether we should leave this section for next week, or do you want to try and carry on now? Well, that's because the last coffee was a little bit strange.
I don't know why.
Oh, it's probably sweetener just broke. Ah, I confused the barista today in Starbucks. And the look she gave me. What did I order? A coffee crunch.
Chocolate coffee.
Chocolate coffee crunch. I ordered a chocolate coffee crunch. And
This is cream based.
yes, it's cream based. We obviously got a bit of coffee in there. And I asked for 2 squishes of the chai flavouring that they have, which by the way is divine. If you've never had a chai latte, go have one, or a chai frappuccino. Anyway, she looked at me totally confused when I asked for this 2 pumps of chai flavouring. Oh my god, I've just invented a new coffee drink because it tasted just like carrot cake. It was literally like carrot cake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said to the woman, I think I've just invented a new coffee. It was just like carrot cake. We'll have to try it now. Leave. Yeah, I agree. I think we should leave the bottom half for the last live feed. I love chai latte. It's so nice. But I think we are looking really good right now. We are having issues there. Look, let me tilt. God, doesn't it make a difference? Just tilting off that light does. I'm actually super pleased how realistic that bottom half of his neck is looking. Quite potentially that is my best one so far. I like that. Okay, so I guess I shall see you guys next week on YouTube. Thanks again for coming. Any questions later on, if you are watching this, just pop them in the comments on YouTube and I will get back to them. If not, come and join the Facebook group, Bonnita Doodles Creatives. So if you have any questions, you can come and ask it in there too. But I'm probably going to log off TikTok at the same time tonight as well, because I want to get some more upload stuff done for the new shop. Especially all my miserable failures. But I shall see you hopefully next week. Yeah, so take care, and I'll see you all then. Bye!